Hey everybody, I'm back. Um, Unfortunately, I will not be making an extremely long video this time, but it will have enough. The reason I'm doing this video laying down is I think I pulled something in my back, either exercise or I stepped wrong or something. My back is not feeling too good, but anyway, that kind of segues into my topic for today, and I know I always speak about trying to see things in a different way, and today my task for you guys is to see if when you are experiencing things, you could separate yourself from going right into defining these situations or phenomena or circumstances or whatever into good or bad things. Remove your want and need to label these things as good or bad. And my point in asking you this is because the task that I want you to do is to be able to see everything as the same direction. And the reason I say this is because I know a lot of people say that, 90% of life is what is 10% of life is what happens to you, and 90% is how you react to it. And I believe that is true, but without knowing how to react, then you're still looking for answers and feeling like you're doing things in an incomplete way. And honestly, my honest opinion about this whole thing is that we are taught to give an inadequate response to everything that happens in the present moment, because we are responding to our thoughts of the things that are happening instead of the things that are happening. And so with the tricks that I taught you before, dividing your attention throughout your body, grounding yourself somehow into this moment, try to become more level and centered. And when things occur, think about this. Everything that happens is the everything is just one motion, because when the universe was created, there was like whatever happened that created the universe, and that one motion is what keeps going, and we are all a part of this dance that is happening. This universe is doing a dance, and we're all part of it. And so with that being the case, everything is part of that dance. There is no really good or bad. There are just progression, or either you're just working against it and you're not allowing things to progress. And so my point being, if everything is supposed to be directed towards the same thing, my belief is that everything is directed towards us becoming more conscious. And I believe that because in my eyes, all we are is the sunlight becoming conscious of itself. We're the fullest extension of the sun. Our love is our physical manifestation of what the sunlight does to this earth. Our love is that same thing, but it's like if the universe has an intelligence, and like everything else, and there's a point when things go through certain kinds of transformations, and certain chemicals, they may crystallize at certain points of whatever phenomena is occurring to that chemical, because that is what was the required phenomena to make it crystallize. And so if there's a universal intelligence, it crystallizes itself where our brains are, and our brains are the crystallization of the universal intelligence. And with that being said, everything that happens is pushing you towards that crystallization. You're becoming more of a conscious sunlight. And so every time you see something, when there's a difficult circumstance or something that seems like it's testing you, and it's a negative thing or disagreeable, I want you to see if you can see that thing in the most positive way possible. Even if it pains you, even if you cannot see it as positive, you must think of it this way. Without that thing there, that feeling that you're feeling, you wouldn't even know that it exists inside you. So that situation may be occurring so that you can see that part of yourself. You needed that light to shine into that area of your life. And so if you see every situation like that, and I read a book not long ago, maybe a couple years back. It was by Marcus Aurelius, I think. Actually, it was a book called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I'm not sure exactly how he created it, how it was developed, but I remember reading certain parts of it, and I remember him saying something about when people are awake, no, when people are dreaming, they everything that happens in the dream, they try to see the meaning of it, like the deeper part of what they're seeing in their dream. But as they are awake, everything that happens seems, when things become habitual and regular to you, you don't pay attention to it. It doesn't like your radar doesn't pick it up. If your radar is meant to pick up things that like, for instance, when the submarine's in the water, it doesn't see the water. all it sees is the obstacles that are in its way, because that's what the radar is doing. And it's the same thing with our minds. If we're training our minds to see certain things, we'll miss all the rest of the things. And when I say seeing, I would like you guys to try to separate the word seeing from meaning your eyes. When I say see, that is the my way of using your memories to attach a meaning to what I mean, but that's the closest thing I can use to point to it. But I don't mean your eyes. I like, if you could imagine what seeing would mean if seeing had nothing to do with your eyes. If seeing just meant seeing, like, because when your sight is reflected light, where you see the light that's reflected to the back of your eyes, and you can see other things beside this, like oh, if someone says I love you, and say, oh, I can see that they love me, and that's just an example of what I mean. And so as these things happen in the next couple of days, I want you guys to see if you can see the light behind the things that are so-called dark in your life. And this may not be easy at first, and a thing I hear commonly is, like, when people first start to do this, they feel like they are becoming more agitated or more angered than they normally are. But that is not necessarily the case. Most of the time, it's because as you become more conscious of your mood swings, you'll be more, you will see it more, and it would seem like more, but it's just because you're becoming more conscious of it. You're noticing it more. And I say that to you so you don't be deterred away from your practices. And this is not my my replacement for the video that I'm supposed to be putting out. This is just me getting out to you guys as soon as possible. So with that being said, I most likely will be making another video, a fuller video with more, and it will be the same topic, matter of fact, and I will have more for you guys. I'll give you a couple tips to make this a little bit easier. Just, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications so that you guys get, updates or whatever. And this is not a religion that I'm trying to put out there. This is not something that is supposed to give you something else to hold on to, a new part of your identity. It's none of that. This is simply me trying to point you back in the direction of yourself. If everything in this world had a direction, certain things move horizontally through our life, and certain things move vertically, and your job is to get out of the water. What I am doing is I am trying to make sure that throughout your days you are putting some type of vertical movement on the things that are most of the time horizontal. And I don't want you guys to go one day without feeling like you are accomplishing something. And with that said, when I say accomplish something, I don't mean necessarily a physical accomplishment, because you can travel to great places. You could travel far in your life without even taking one step. And I'll let that marinate a little bit, and I'll be back to post another video in the next 2 days, 2 or 3 days, 2 days most likely. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. Take it easy. I respect that inside you that is the same with inside me. Namaste.
But you'll be fine. It'll all be fine. It's just in your mind. Yeah. Mm-hmm.